Look carefully at these forests, for you might not see them in this condition for a lot longer. Whatever mistakes in management have been acknowledged in the past, they are nothing compared to what is happening now. Pockets of destroyed habitat are appearing all over New South Wales. The loggers are being ordered to go in every 5 years over what are supposed to be regenerating areas. There is no chance for any ecosystem to re-establish. July in 2009, a study was published demonstrating that the planet is facing the 6th greatest extinction crisis in its history. This extinction crisis is centred in Oceania. Australia is part of Oceania. One of the main factors for the extinction crisis, which was identified, was Australian logging. Forest New South Wales is cutting faster and harder than ever before. You will see only a few of these clear-felled areas that a new unit in the Department of Primary Industry is deeming plantations that will be in the future cut at 20 centimetres in diameter. These plantations were actually ecosystems in recovery, housing threatened species. All around these areas, the rest of the native forest is being butchered. It has never been cut like this before, and up to 80 and 99% of the wood is being taken from the surrounding native ecosystems. These will soon join up with the clear-felled plantations. Although they're only supposed to take 40% of the native forest, they're taking up to 99% because they're deeming the rest of the forest an offset area. And yet they are ignoring the fact that they are actually taking the wood from every compartment. So there is really no offset area. Most of Middle Brother is what they call light to moderate single tree selection, and yet they have almost taken the entire western face of the mountain. Exactly the same has happened at Queens Lake Forest. Most of the western side of the mountain is gone. Back at Lawn State Forest, the plan is clear. Here heavy single tree selection, all above the catchment of Upsells Creek and Swans Crossing, from Blackbutt Road all the way up towards Comboyne. You see a mix of clear fell and then heavy single tree selection where 80 to 99% of the wood is taken, with only blackbutt seed trees remaining. Lantana from ravaged forest experiments in the past appears in the light green below. The surrounding forest has already been ravaged, as we will see later. Soon these almost clear-felled areas where only blackbutt seed trees are left will join up with the plantations that are planted with blackbutt below. We will end up with one vast single species dominated landscape. Dark pockmarks you'll soon see across the landscapes of failed experiments, clear fill areas that didn't regrow, except lantana. It needs to be understood that Forest New South Wales has already ravaged the forests around where they are currently cutting. The forests along Upsells Creek near Swans Crossing that took 50 to 60 years to recover to become wildlife habitat, including home for rare and threatened species, have been clear-felled again, despite what we now know about our extinction record. Kilometres have since been clear-felled to establish a plantation, and the entire catchment above this area is native forest that has been cut 80 to 99% of the wood taken.
The native forest is, it's copping it now.
You were saying that the native forests are being compared to other countries. Could you explain that?
What they're trying to do is run native forest the same way you run pine. And
as if it's a monoculture.
Pine's like wheat. You can harvest the whole paddock and it's exactly the same. They've got no criteria to worry about. This is totally different.
But as in monetary wise too, they think that
they can turn it over.
Well, as in, pine per hectare, there's a lot more per hectare, and it's
all
just
uniform.
a different. You just can't log it the same way.
You can cut one bit of hardwood down, and the piece next to it will be totally different. It could have defect. It could have issues.
So some idiot is trying to turn the forests of New South Wales not into ecosystems anymore, but into a cash crop of monocultures.
Yep, exactly.
What was once the beautiful, diverse, mixed hardwood and rainforest of the Lawn Valley is being converted into a single species dominated landscape. The clear fell and the surrounding almost clear fell will conveniently join up into a sterile industrialised landscape. Forest New South Wales Chief Executive Officer comes from a plantation background. The company Boral has rights to about 80% of New South Wales wood and to an annual supply of logs that almost doesn't exist. Much is taken to tea gardens where it is chipped and then trucked to Newcastle for shipping to China. Our wildlife's home and food, the forests that protect our waterways, and our future hardwood resource is being pulped. This insane contract loses Australian and New South Wales taxpayers multi-millions of dollars a year. Yet the Auditor-General formally warned several years ago, North Coast forests are being cut faster than they can grow back. Forests New South Wales is ripping our native forests apart. Why? In a review of the contract, someone agreed to insert a compensation clause to allow Boral compensation in the event of lack of supply. So they are now cutting as hard and fast as they can